Good evening. Good evening. It's Norma Cowie, and I'm here for mental mind treatments with psychic impressions. Now, as usual, I have a number of people who've contacted me, so I'm ready to go. Done a couple of little things differently, but basically, it'll be the same thing. If you're new, you use the chat part to write in whatever it is or what you would like, so I can. And the most important thing is I want three numbers between 1 and 22. And then I put it all together. But before I begin, I want to say I hope everybody realized that our time changed. Seems like it was forever today. But anyway, with it's just clocks going back means we have an extra hour, but the system doesn't always know that. So it's always fun when they switch. I really seriously don't know why they just don't leave it like this for all the year. But anyhow, farmers or something for some reason, I think they said originally. Whatever. Anyway, first person today is Helene. And again, this is someone that I have worked with several times, but this is a little bit different. The issue was to accept what is and discover fun and pleasure. She asked me to pick the numbers, and I got 2, 13, and 7, which is the High Priestess, Death, and the Chariot, which basically means we always have choice. We can choose if we want to do things that please us or not. But it takes time to learn to make those choices. It takes time in the direction of where you're heading or what you're wanting to do or where you're wanting to go. And because through the choices, you will move into a different vibration. And then when you move into the different vibration, it's like the past has gone behind so that you are having more fun and more pleasure. So it really boils down to choice. Do you choose to be stuck? Do you choose to be miserable? Or do you choose to move and change? And that is a lot of it. And that's about experience. Because you just don't always go bang and that's it. It's all different. It's like learning and teaching yourself choices. What do I really enjoy? Make a list. What's my favorite thing to do? And then begin to do them. So let me see what the mental mind treatment will bring us. Knowing that there is one power in one essence, I speak my word for Helene. And as I speak my word for Helene, I know that she is ready to make choices, or it wouldn't have come up. I also know that in making different choices and choosing to be different or experience differently, that the past will fade away. And then she'll be moved into a new future, into a new vibration, and a new way. Now, one thing here, you can choose that, but the 13 tells me time. I believe time is your friend. You need time to experiment. You need time to utilize. You need time to get used to choosing, because that's what number 2 is about, choosing. You can choose different experiences in different ways. So what we're seeing here in this sense, I just believe the feeling is know your own worth deep inside. Know your own worth so you can make the choices and give yourself time to move into a new vibration, leaving the past behind. It's like, there's the past, goodbye. This is my future. Hello. These kind of things. I give thanks in the knowing of this for Helene, and I am excited for her as she moves into a different vibration that will bring her the fun and the pleasure she's looking for. So I give thanks as I release this thought, knowing that it is done and it is true. So then I move on to, again, coming from the other week's Julie. And now I have found that when we do these 3 weeks in a row, things begin to happen for people. And so I really recommend when you come in and put in what you want. Come back if you want the same thing, or if it's different, that's fine too. But I think by now we've proven that over time, that is when everything comes together really well. What I've got here for Julie is to believe and accept self. And again, if you know tarot, the 12 is really what I call acceptance. It's the hangman. 20 is also judgment, which has to do with acceptance too. And then change. I just feel, again, what I said earlier is the same thing. It's about choice. It's about what are we wanting to choose? Do we want change? If we want to accept ourselves fully and all our delights of who we are and what we are, then it's about accepting that we are okay. And, sometimes it's like we have to be our own cheering section. Sometimes out in the world, there's a lot of criticism about everybody else, but you know what it means is the people criticizing is saying about them. But we have to be our own cheering section. And that's what I feel here, is that we've got to recognize you're the hub of your life. That's at number 10, Wheel of Fortune. You have to be like the hub of the wheel and work with what you have and what you want. And in believing and accepting yourself, that's what you do. Everything else is like, if it's not pertinent to you, forget it. It's how I feel. It's like, come on, we have to. And I know I'm very sensitive myself, and I'm very sensitive to criticism, and I'm very to odd little comments. It took me years to learn not to take it on seriously. I still do sometimes when I hear something said. And it's kind of like, okay, where do they get that from? But I realize that other people reflect themselves onto you a lot. It has nothing to do with who you are. It's how they perceive things. And that's their issue. And that's one of the toughest things in the world. So let's give us a treatment here for Julie. I know there is one power and one essence, and I know it is there for everyone if we just open our minds to that lovingness and acceptance that is there for us. I also know for Julie is that in believing and accepting herself, that is the key to not worry about what anybody thinks or what they think you should or shouldn't do or shouldn't be, whatever. Any shouldn'ts that are put upon you, it's like you burn them up. You let them go and realize they're telling you who they are. They're not seeing you. But you need to see you. You need to look in the mirror and know who you are. So it doesn't matter. And the other thing is, look at where you feel insecure. So you're attracting these people to come in and feel they have the right to criticize you. I'm trying to organize my top. Sorry, guys. There we are. Always get right and left in the pictures a little backwards. So I give my firm belief and thanks and knowing that the power that is there, the love power that is there for Julie, is that it accepts and loves you. So it's integrating it. It's to bring it in. I always think about, what's your favorite color? Be that color. Be that brilliant, be that bright, and allow that to reflect out into the world so that you're feeling effectively of who you are. A nice smile on your face, I find, works really well too. I give thanks in the knowing that there is love, there is light, and belief in self and the acceptance of self is our responsibility and knowing who we really are, not what other people think. And so I give thanks by saying, and so it is. Another one too is coming on, is for Marion to clear blocks for her new home. Again, I pick numbers. I got 12, which is hangman, which is acceptance. 11, which is justice, which is making a decision in lots of ways. It's number 2. It's a part of the higher order of the number 2. And 16, which is the tower. And I had to look at that when that came that way. Because what we want to do is clear the blocks for a new home to present itself. So, what does this say here? Acceptance, yes. Really, it's about the commitment, which I believe is there because it's there, but it's like knowing things in a strange way. So it's not like we say, oh, it's going to be this way. You just need to know that you're having a new home. And we want that new home soon. So this is what the mental mind treatment will do. Because that's what it says with 16. It's actually the tail symbol bringing everything down, but that's because it has to break the old in order to bring in the new. Okay. Now, I know there is one power and one essence, and I know because of the love force is there, and I know that Marion knows that the power works, is that the blocks of creating a new home, whatever they may be, is cleared. And that may happen in a funny and strange way, but it will be by divine order because of the request is there. The need for a new home that suits Marion's requirements. It's got a suit. It's not something like just whatever. And so in the suiting of the requirements is the knowingness that the universe takes care of you, that the universe responds for your highest and your best always. Even though you might wonder, what's going on? Yes, it's for your highest and best of what you require is a new home. And that any blocks will be cleared with ease and with grace. I give thanks in the knowing that what we call the universal love source, what I call, whether you call it God, whatever other name you want to apply, that it is active and creating a new home for Marion, and as we said, soon, with ease and with grace. When we have change, what we want is ease and grace. We don't want it to be horrendous. We want it to flow in such simplicity and such ease that fits every command of a visualization of what we require. And somehow the universe always knows that. I give thanks in the knowing of this as I release this thought and adding to the thought that we've been working with in the last 2 weeks. Give thanks and release this by knowing it will be, and so it is. Okay. I spoke with our friend Kayla, who is so tired and stressed out. Stressed out's my words. But she's really tired. And she wants to release all the tension and be more relaxed and sleeping and everything like that. So, again, picking the numbers 12, 17, and 3, Hanged Man, Star, and Empress. This is all about balance. It's about accepting of what is and balancing it all, knowing that she's loved, everything is workable. But I just feel because we get stressed, remember, next Monday she's having her surgery on her knee. It's just allowing. It's like sinking into a beautiful bath full of warm water that's the right temperature, and just allow yourself. It's like allowing that life is to releasing the tension, getting out of the head, into the heart, and just allowing the body to relax. It's all taken care of. It's just breathing in and breathing out. So the treatment. Knowing there is one power and one essence, and knowing that Kayla knows how and why and how it works. I am so grateful and thankful that the tension is released. The relaxation within the body comes about, knowing that, again, I get that image of that beautiful bath of warm water and probably a nice scent as well, because I'm smelling nice scents. And allowing just It's like sometimes we have to take our issues and hand them over to God, or however you call that. Just give them over. We can't figure them all out. We can't be tense and tight, especially when you're going in another week having surgery. You've got to relax and know all is well, all is taken care of, no matter what it looks like, what it feels like. And it's that trust. And so I give thanks in knowing that the trust that Kayla has in the divine will filtrate every cell of her body in order to bring about relaxation, sleep, or anything else that she requires. I give thanks in the knowingness of this by saying, and so it is. Amen. I have another one here for actually my daughter-in-law. She cut her, I forget which finger they told me. Anyway, she cut her finger really badly, lost part of her nail. And they are going away in a few more weeks. And anyway, and so what I asked her, would it be okay if I did my thing tonight for her for a quick healing for her cut finger? It didn't sound very good when my son phoned me last night, so I asked her, would it be okay to do this? And she said, please. When I looked at the numbers that I was going to pick for her, I got 8, which is strength, 12 again, which is the acceptance, and 3, the Empress, which is love. And so to me, it's like she just needs to persevere through this first part when it's really sore and accept that, but know also that if she loves that finger, you see me put my hand around that finger. I'm just saying it's this one. Remember we were talking about middle fingers last week. Is to love that finger. Welcome that finger into wellness. I just feel there's something about holding the soreness, maybe lower than where it hurts. And allowing we used to use a lot of healing is in the center of the palms, is allowing that healing factor that you carry within you through the lovingness of yourself into that finger. So the finger relaxes and becomes much more alive. Instead of shrinking, which because it's hurt, it will come alive. So it will heal faster. It will heal quicker. And it will grow that nail, whatever that was lost. I give thanks in the knowing. No, hang on. That was me deciding. Okay, let me do. I think I've got a little. My eye went onto the other part over here, which is really not good for me to do that. So I'm just going to go back and do the treatment. I know the one power and the one essence that is there for everyone, and it's a matter of us opening up to the natural love source that is in everyone and everything, wherever, and allowing that to come in so that the finger that is being cut can be, I guess, loved. It's almost like the center, because I know the person, and my center of things here where I usually do most of my healing work with is just vibrating. But it's like one can activate their own by using one thumb on the other's palm. It's like it vibrates it, and then putting that on top of whatever is hurting, wherever it is on your body. It helps to isolate and to put through and make that much more, what would you say, approachable. I give thanks in knowing that the power of the divine, plus the power of Melanie, loving the finger that's cut, healing it so that it heals quickly and easily, so that she can move on and do all those things that she's going to be doing in the next wee while. I give thanks as I release this by saying, and so it is. Amen. Okay, on to my element here. Karen Lee. We love a treatment for whatever comes to you with the numbers of 7, 3, and 20. Okay, so there's changes here, but there's lots of love. And 20 is that big acceptance of all things. I actually put symbols out here so I can often, because sometimes I'm talking about tarot symbols and people don't even know which ones that I'm talking about. So this is I want to concentrate on number 20 because it comes up quite often. It's called judgment, but it's acceptance of the love or acceptance of the divine or acceptance of God, if that's what you think of it. It's like, here we are, accept the power that is given to you, acceptance. So when we look at this, it's like 7 is a chariot where we're leaving behind the old, ready to go into the next level of our growth and our progress. And love is there, but it's like acceptance of it. Acceptance that there is more than we realize. There is more love, more opportunity, more power. Whatever it is you're looking for, whatever it is you're wanting, it's there. Do we want to open everything up? Do we want to look at it? Do we just want to believe? All of this is a part of this. And I know for Karen Lee that she's ready, open, and willing. So it's like allowing that power that is there. My palms in my hands, I'm really working on the health thing, on the energy. It's like it's just streaming out because it's like moving in that direction. So I give thanks and knowing that Karen Lee is willing to let go those things that do not work anymore, to accept that she's loved by the divine in every which way and allow that energy to move in her and through her out into her. I give thanks in the knowing of this by saying, and so it is. And blessings to you. Now, Karen M. Okay, what do we got here? Greetings. We've got, looks like 3, 4, and 10. 3 is Empress, which is the law of love. 4 is the Emperor, which says, I don't know about anything. It's not working. And then 10 shows change, the Wheel of Fortune. So it's like being the hub of the wheel and instituting change. Sometimes when we've been on a journey of growth, we understand the principles, we understand the direction, but then it's like, how do we implement that in a daily way? And so we look out at the world sometimes and it looks like, what am I supposed to do here? How does it work? How does, it's like and I think the Wheel of Fortune, if you've got your deck of cards, look at the Wheel of Fortune and you will see, I'm going to show it for those that don't know the card. Whoops, wrong side. You got to be like the hub of the wheel. Because the Wheel of Fortune is like, it's almost like a gamble in a way. Where's that wheel? But you got to remember, you're in command of that wheel. You got to be like the center of it and recognize what it is that you're really wanting. Because this is about more knowledge, finding knowledge and awareness. And I look at that 4 and it's just like we get stuck. We don't believe, we don't trust, we don't like, or whatever. Something's not working quite the way we want it to. And now it's just like, hey, remember who you are. Remember that love is the basis of all. Now, who are we? Where's our center? What are we doing? What are we achieving? Where are we going? You can be stagnant, like the 4 suggests that may be happening. Or you can begin to implement the vibration that you like the most back into your life. We all get stuck sometimes. And then it's almost like we have to kickstart ourselves again and go, oh, yeah, right. That's how it happens. Because very often we have projections or we have goals that we really, really want, but we forget how to implement them. We forget that it's important to know exactly where we're heading and to trust that the universe knows what's really there. And very often we ignore all the signals. We just ignore it. We just went, wow. And that's that for. It's supposed to be this way when it's really that way. And then going, but I don't like that way. It's not what I want. Well, to stop, come back to center and begin to implement, because the 10 says that that's possible. But you've got to come from your center. You've got to come from the love and know your goal. Your goal. See, what happens? We have a goal. We achieve it. Now, what's next? The next goal. Now, it may not be in the same line. It may be something else. It may, because we're adding all the time. We're adding into understanding, awareness, and growth. Now, let me do the treatment. I know there is one power and one essence, and as I speak my word for Karen M. Sorry, I know that the power. I know she knows. Or is aware. Let's put it that way. And I know that it is a matter sometimes of just letting go the framework. Letting go of the framework that took us to, say, level 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're here. Now, we've got to have a new framework if we want to build stairway to 6, 7, 8. Or is this 1 to 10? So it's like looking at what is working and what isn't working and discarding what isn't working and moving towards the goal. That is the next step. See, life isn't just A to Z, A to B, B to C, C to D. So I know a lot of you know tarot, it's like working through, but once you do the run once, it comes out back again at a different level and a different level and a different level. Same law, you might say, same laws, same awarenesses, but in a different perception. And to me, Karen, this is saying that you are ready. It's almost to go through another initiation. Watch your meditations, because often when you're ready to be initiated into a new level, your meditations or your awarenesses or things that start happening that show that. I give thanks for knowing that you have a choice. You can stay stuck or you can move into a whole new vibration. I give thanks in the knowing of this as I release this by saying, and so it is. Amen. Okay, now Karen B. Okay, good evening, Norma. Blessings and love to everyone. I like that little things. May I please have a treatment for numbers 5, 10. Here's another 10 again. 21. What's going on out there? Since more knowledge is needed, as you need to be making changes to create what you're wanting. See, if we look at 21, here we are, down here. What we find is the world pulling it together. Because the other one is 22, which is the full, which is when you move off. I look at this, Karen B. And it's like, I'm just wanting, making sure. It's like, yeah, five is the Hierophant. More knowledge is needed because of changes that are happening. 10 is always change. It's got the 1, but it's the Wheel of Fortune. That's the one you got to be like the hub of the wheel. But now it's like, okay, let me just come off that for a minute and without trying to consciously do it, I'm going to just psychically do it. You have knowledge. So how do we implement the knowledge into the world or your world? How do you implement that knowledge into the world day by day? How do you live that? And in that awareness, how do you pull it all together in a balanced way so that no matter what is occurring, good, bad, indifference, because that's just judgments on what's good and what isn't good, etc. How do we balance that to be able to move forward? It feels stuck. I don't know if you feel stuck, but it feels stuck to me. And it feels like this number 10. Number 10 is an energy number. It's a one, really. It's new beginnings. It's moving. It's getting things going. I mean, let's face it. It's the wheel of fortune. It's like you've got to be like the hub of the wheel. In other words, you've got to go out and create what you want. You've got to put some energy into it. It's not enough just to sit and go, I want, I know it'll happen. It may not, because there's a little too stuckness in here. Anyway, let me treat and see what comes up. I know there is one power and one essence, and as I speak my word for Karen B, I know the knowingness and the information is there. I also know there comes a time when we've got to basically take the bull by the horns and insert our knowledge, our awareness, our desires into the world that we are wanting to create. So that we can create the balance, we can create the awareness, we can create all that we truly want for ourselves and those around us. It takes one step. It takes one awareness. It's not backing off. It's about having a concept, an idea of what you're wanting to create and moving forward into that. I give thanks in knowing that for Karen B, it's like a revelation of change, awareness, and growth. Time to assimilate and stand still, I feel, is over. You need to be the hub of the wheel now and get that all out into an awareness of life in a balanced, loving, complete way. I give thanks in the knowing this as I release this by saying, and so it is. Amen. Okay. Math07 says hello. Math07 says, yay, I made it. Math07 says, need a treatment for my eyes. Okay, 07 eyes. They are getting better. Great. Yeah, consistent treatment. Happy. It's so nice to hear. Okay. 8 shows balance, but I didn't draw it balanced. So there's still some emotional things that need to be let go of here. 6 is the love. Yeah, it seems like emotionally we need to be a little bit more stabilized, but you're on the right track. That's what I like here, is you're on the right track. Okay. I'm going to go straight into treatment on this. I know there is one power and one essence, and I know that 07 knows that. I know that his eyes are being more pulled into balance as emotion is let go, as fear is let go, as an awareness of life from a different perspective. It's like instead of seeing everything in gray, you're seeing in color. And so the confusion that sometimes comes because there's a tendency, that's the word, to look at things from how you perceive them before, and the movement that's happening is you're moving forward into a new perception. Because you're moving forward in a new perception, the eyes are seeing differently, a different color, a different awareness, and it's only beginning, but it's happening. And I feel very excited inside. I feel thrilled. I feel vibrant. And I give thanks in the knowing of this, that you are willing to let go the old, to bring in light, to bring in awareness and vision. all of us need to have some form of vision to change. Where are we heading? Where are we going? What are we doing? Are we doing what we love? And how can we make it better? Or what can we do differently? And so this is your journey now, is to be able to construct things from a different perception. I give thanks in the knowingness that the power of love and light is with our seven as he moves forward, so that he can see from a different perspective, different color, different awareness. And I release this thought, knowing it is true as it is done, by saying, and so it is. Amen. Karen Lee says, thank you. Bless your heart. Thank you. Karen M says, so true, so helpful. Thanks. Well, I appreciate that. Karen B says, thank you, Norma. I'm having cataract surgeries 11/11 and 11/18. Changes are on the horizon. Okay, my eyes will be seeing in different colors and clarity. Thank you for the support and the prayers. I didn't know that. So this just shows what happens when we tune into things, Sometimes you can just tune in. Blessings to you. Just keep me. Now, I'm going to make a note of those. 11/11. Good. What a date, eh? For change. 11/11, 11/18. Okay, that's a 9 there. That's 2, 2, 2, and 9. Okay, I'll make that. I'll put eye surgery. I'll make a note of that. That's like next Monday when our Kayla has her knee surgery. So that will be on my mind a little bit. Matt said, Norma, did you see my other message? Nope, I didn't see another message. Was there another message? Good, I'm glad you can tell me now. Hang on. Just got the one for the eyes. So what else do you want? Sorry, Norma, but I found out that a not so close friend of mine committed suicide on September 28th. First, I lost my father. Now this. I'm crying right now. So what do we got here? 23 and 8. Okay, 23 and 8. Okay. One of the hardest things is when someone close to us makes a transition one way or the other. And as we have to assimilate that information into our world, and it's being sad and being crying, whatever you need to do, is because we have lost a friend in the physical world. We have not lost a person in the other world, but most people don't know how to talk to people on the other side anyways. But what we see here is the acceptance of what is. That's what you're fighting, because the love is there and the recognition that, I don't know, there's something within your friend's spirituality that got a little off. When I say, what do I mean by that? What I mean is that when we have a spiritual ideal or a concept that we believe in, it makes it a little easier hang on a minute. Maybe he said, okay, just put another note in there. I don't want to lose this thought. The way I drew the 8, which just means strength, there's a break in it. I usually draw an 8. That tells me that the acceptance of the break in your friend's philosophy, the knowing of how to utilize the power above. When a person becomes really depressed or disconnected and finds it difficult to recreate that connection or have a philosophy, that we just need to recognize that is sometimes happens. So what do we need to do here is the 20 is the acceptance of their decision. And that's where we get sad, because we don't want them to have made that decision and we don't know what to do. But the whole key is that all we can do is send love to them, which helps them on the other side. People forget that. Your energy helps people on the other side. So let's do a treatment for yourself. I know the one power and the one essence is always there, whether we're here in this physical form or we're on the other side. I also know that when a person decides to transition to the other side, no matter which way they do it, themselves or just naturally, that there are helpers on the other side. There's people to greet you. There's people to welcome you. We then, on this side of the veil, as they say, need to support them. And even though it's our grief, we can grieve for ourselves, but not for them. Because if they found this physical world too hard to handle and they need to leave it, they feel they need to leave it, even if you don't believe they do, that's their choice. You just need to send love, acceptance. They made this decision. Now, sometimes it's by an accident and sometimes it isn't. But are there accidents? I don't know about that if you're become a fatalistic. So therefore, it is the recognition you are never, ever alone. And if you're having trouble, ask for help. Ask for clarity. Ask for strength, wisdom, whatever you feel you need. But send your friend love, acceptance, and a strength to be open to the vibrations of where he's going so he doesn't have to stay in that in-between place too long, because he'll have people there to help him if he's willing to open his eyes. That's where I see the link here. He's kind of caught, as you are, caught in the action rather than the result. I remember once, and a person saying that every death basically isn't, you said they didn't like the word suicide, but it's like every death becomes, it's just that we choose how to do it. I think I've told this story before, but when I was on holiday, when COVID first started, before we even heard the word COVID, I was in Mexico having a holiday. And every day I felt worse and worse and worse and worse. And by the time I came home, I had all the symptoms except the cough, but I'm not a cougher. I'm not never been a chesty person, never coughed. And my doctor, when I found her, I told her I felt so terrible. And she said, "Are you coughing?" And I said, "No." She said, "Well, just keep doing what you're doing," which I did. But I felt so bad. And for the first time in my life, I had a fever. I never had a fever before in my life. And I thought I was dying, actually. I thought, this is it. And I'm sitting there thinking, oh my God, this is it. I'm going out. And then I went, hang on a minute. There's no one here. My daughter's not here. My mother's not here. My guides aren't here. No, I'm not dying. And of course, I immediately turned around and I wasn't, because I'm still here. But it was like at that time and then I really became aware that when it comes time for the soul to leave the physical body, somebody will come. Those close that have gone before, A, or B, if you've got, like me, I've had people I've studied with for years. So it's like, look for them if ever you think like I did. I thought, this is it. I'm on my way out, because, oh my gosh, I've never had a fever where I felt, well, I've never had a fever before. But it's comforting to know you're not alone. And your friend, 07, was not alone. It's just that transition. It's like stepping through a door, except you don't come back in your body. But you can move on and learn and grow and decide who you're going to be next. Reincarnation time, right? Anyway, Tammy, thank you for your message. And she said, I agree completely. And yeah, maybe. Anyway, life is a bowl of cherries until it's not. But you can make it a bowl of cherries if you like cherries. But remember that every cherry has a stone. You got to somewhere de-stone it. Everything has a little bit of a hook or some way, shape, or form. And so we have whatever. But I really thank each one of you that have been on tonight and is still listening. And 07, just keep your chin up. Send lots of love to your friend, knowing that he'll be taken care of on the other side for sure. Remind him to open up, be aware. And that's what happens a lot when we kind of do things ourselves. We forget that our friend, people on the other side, they're there for that, actually. In the meantime, just a reminder, on the 15th, I'm doing a past life regression. A couple people have signed up already, but and the matter if it's 2 or 20, it doesn't matter. No, we won't know. I can only take 10 on Zoom. So I'm doing that because sometimes it's really important. Yeah, of course you're overwhelmed, though, 7. That's okay. Just accept that. Love yourself for that. But just know that he's okay. Marion says, I came in late, so I didn't sign in. That's okay, my dear. We're just ready to sign out. What time? Oh, I'll get back to you because you're on my list. So I will let you know. It's 10 o'clock my time anyway in the morning, I think, or 11. Whatever. I'll let you know. We're not there yet, so we soon will be, though. But anyway, I just want to say thank you very much for you attending. I always enjoy these Monday nights, and I will be back on Wednesday talking about something. Not sure yet what I am. And if you didn't catch the Sunday Thought this week, you might want to go back and listen, because I found it was quite different. And anyway, you might find it different too. Lots of love to you all. And if anything, I'll see you next week. Remember, you can email me, you can text me, you can do whatever. So you've on my book in the beginning, in case I miss your stuff in here. I think we've got everything. Method 7, hang in there. And everybody else, blessings and lots of love. Bye now.